A late comer to the summer 2021 anime season, The Great Jahy Will Not Be Defeated is a series that I was actually looking forward to the most for this season, and it's sad that it took it so long to come out, but thankfully we have a full 20 episodes to have for this show, and so I'm definitely looking forward to this. This is my impressions on the first 2 episodes, so let's jump right into it. The Great Jahy Will Not Be Defeated follows Jahy, a demon lord that is second in command in the demon realm, and at some point, even though she's on her throne and she's very happy, at some point, a magical girl shows up out of nowhere, rushes right by her, and destroys this big, huge energy stone that these demons have that gives them their powers. And so, losing this stone, essentially the demon realm has fallen, and Jahy has been sent to the human realm where she has no power and has to make a living while trying to regain all these stones in order to rebuild the realm. So yeah, that's kind of the setup. And she kind of lives in a very rundown apartment, is struggling to make ends meet, struggling just to have food on the table or at least pay her rent. She works at a bar nearby, and this is her life now as she, again, tries to struggle to find these gems and rebuild her power. A lot of my enjoyment of this series so far has been centered around really the nature of Jahy. And I think having Naomi Ozora working as the seiyuu for Jahy, I think fits it perfect. She has kind of this very raspy and haughty voice to herself that really does sell this character. I mean, granted, a lot of the time she's more in a doom and gloom nature. She's dealing with the fact that she has nothing, and she's really trying to struggle to regain her glory. Like, she's very prideful. And having these moments where she does stand up on a table as this little scrunchy character, trying to talk about how great she is, it just doesn't work. And she pulls off that voice so perfectly well. And a lot of that enjoyment comes around the idea that she is so prideful, that she does have this delusion of grandeur that just doesn't work in this nature. Like, she is working for this store manager, and she claims that she's going to take over the world and that she's super powerful. But again, the store manager sees her as this little kind of chibi girl that's, hiding herself as an adult. And it just doesn't work in the end. She just gives her money, gives her a hug, and sends her on her way, and it just totally breaks Jahy. On the opposite side of this humor, where you have a lot of the humor around Jahy versus the store manager, it's a lot of misinterpreting what Jahy's saying. So when Jahy says, I used to be this great commander of the demon realm, and there was flames all around me, the store manager goes, oh, you gotten over your fear of flames. That's great. Here, give me a hug, kind of thing. She doesn't see what Jahy's saying as being serious. On the opposite side, when you get into episode 2, you do have the inclusion of Druj, who is one of the people that worked under Jahy, and she's in the human realm as well. Where going from this, where this lady's misinterpreting these things that are, these claims of this demon, on this side, you see everything that Jahy's doing is being seen as being very much in the realm of the demon's realm. So when she says something like, well, I don't need to have, I'm only going to buy water, Drew sees it as, oh, somebody's going to be trying to poison you, obviously, because you're the second in command of the demon realm. So you have this kind of mixture of the two of them. And kind of in the middle there is probably the store manager's sister, which is the landlady of where Jahy is staying. She's more on the combative side. Like, everything between the two of them is very combative, even though you do have some really heartfelt moments in the second episode. So my thoughts on this series, I really do like this. I like I said, I think a lot of it's centering around Jahy, the seiyuu that's working on it. But I think also in the idea that while it does have these lulling points already with the first 2 episodes, it doesn't feel like it's trying to be bombastically funny. I think it's trying to play into Jahy's characters and what she's going through. So it feels, I'm surprisingly enough, it feels more slice of life with comedy beats than being a full-on comedy, which would be hitting skit after skit very, very rapid pace. And it's even had these moments where it's trying to humanize Jahy, playing into heartstrings for the character, like her saving this bird or her experience with the landlady in the second episode. It does seem like it's trying to give a little bit of character to Jahy and not just be a punchline after punchline. So I'm very surprised by that. I really wasn't expecting that for the series. Now, granted, I don't know that it's going to be a focal point for it at all. I think the comedy is going to be a focal point, but it is doing a lot more than I originally thought it was going to be. I'm probably going to equate it, not by quality at all, because I think Mr. Kobayashi Dragon Maid is an amazing series. I would equate it to Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid in the idea of how it plays out, where it does feel skit-based, not short skit, but long skit. And at the same time, it has these heartfelt moments that it's going to throw in there. Again, kind of more centered around the idea of Jahy herself having to suck up her pride and deal with more human nature of people, and find, obviously, in the end, that probably the human realm isn't a bad place. Whereas Druge is already kind of sold on the amenities and the qualities of living in a human realm because she's living it up. Jahy hates it. But she's going to have to learn that there are good people there. Like I said, having this moment with the landlord, who they've always been combative about, having a little brief moment of humility is definitely a great little moment for it. But yeah, even still, like I said, even if it does have these kind of lulling points, which I don't think is really lulling, it's more just kind of taking a slow pace. So far, I've had a lot of good laughs, and I'm really loving Jahy's character already, and I think that's going to be a huge driving force for me to watch and enjoy this show, is going to be around Jahy. I think that, again, her delusions of grandeur, jumping on the table as a little girl, and talking about how she's very powerful and that the store manager needs to respect her more, sold me. I was like, the moment that she jumped on that table, I was like, this is fantastic. I am going to love this. But like I said, I'm curious how well they're going to keep this joke, or if it's something that's going to be able to last, especially for 20 episodes. Obviously, them getting 2 cores does give me a little hope on the idea that they're going to have a lot of content to work with. But we'll see. It's definitely going to be a telling thing, and I'm definitely looking forward to more of it, especially when we do get the rest of the cast, because I'm really looking forward to seeing what else they're going to include in this. Like I said, having a more soft-natured store manager that, misinterprets what she's saying, having a supporting Druge who sees everything as being diabolical. I'm curious what else they're going to get in that mix that's going to really kind of spice things up, because I think something like this is going to require some really solid chemistry with characters. So that's my thoughts on the first 2 episodes of The Great Jahy Will Not Be Defeated. If you like this video, please leave a like down below. Comment, let me know what you thought of this show if you're going to check it out. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're willing to, please support us on Patreon. It does help us out. And y'all take care.